So you guys want to know about what it takes to run a DTG business? Well, you guys got questions and I've got answers. You guys are watching Ask Stan the Man. How you guys doing? My name is Stan Bass from T-Shirt Side Hustle, and I help you start t-shirt businesses from home, wherever you at. And today I'm here right now with the DTG guide. We got the DTG guide riding with the DTG GOAT right here. My man Sean from SE Shirts and Hoodies. I'm out in Denver, and we're going to talk about the DTG business right after the intro. Okay, before I jump into it, you guys know what I need you to do. I need you guys to like this video. I need you to comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff, because I make videos like this all the time. And yes, I mean all the time. First and foremost, Sean, man, I do this all the time, and I already know what people are going to say about you when they get on this video. They're going to say, bro, put your seatbelt on.
Listen, if I die, I want to die fast. I don't want to suffer.
All right, man. I tried to warn him and tell him to put his seatbelt on. He didn't. So first and foremost, before we jump into the DTG business, I'm gonna let the people know how I found you. I was watching some YouTube videos, man, and this guy, he was taking shots at people, not necessarily at me, but you know, some YouTubers don't respond and they get too big. I'll never get that big. I never not respond. I said, bro, I understand, but you don't know what you're saying. You're not there yet. Just imagine how crazy this thing can get when you are at 50,000, 600,000. I'm a person who tries to respond to every last DM, every last message, and it's hard for me to do it at this given moment, right? So that's how I found them. So I want to ask you first and foremost, how did you get into the DTG business?
So what a lot of people don't know is, even to today, even after I've been doing YouTube and I have the shop and stuff, I work on the oil rigs out here as a full-time job. So to do that and to do this at the same time, you know, can be kind of emotionally draining, physically draining. So how I even got a DTG was, I seen some of Stan's videos about pressing vinyl, and I seen a Reyes entrepreneur video about $500 you could make your own t-shirts. And long story short, being on the oil rigs, they give out shirts. So my boss didn't want to buy shirts. I was like, well, I'm gonna make my own shirt then and try to sell him some shirts as a side hustle. So he was like, all right, bring me 250 hoodies. So I pressed 250 hoodies and not one stuck. They all washed off. So with that profit, I went to ISS in Long Beach and I seen a DTG and I bought it. I was like, shit, it's 500 bucks, you know? I could afford 500 bucks. Like, if I can't hustle up 500 bucks in sales, then I shouldn't be a salesman. So that's pretty much how I got started. And you know, the rest is kind of just a whole lot of time and effort and grinding. And that's where we're at now.
So you made those hoodies. How did you make those hoodies? What method did you use?
I used Caesar HTV. I bought a cutter from Heat Press Nation. That the cutter was like, I think it went by grams. Like, I don't know too much about cutters because, you know, I feel like breaking them. I don't know how to use them, you know, inexperienced. But with that cutter, it went by grams. And like, I was putting so many grams for it to cut that it still wasn't cutting. It wasn't the blade or nothing. To this day, I sent it back. I don't know what happened to it. But I used to use that cutter, and I used it literally like for 2 weeks and sent it back. And so I could just finish that order.
Nice. All right, so you start out with vinyl, you got some profit from a job, and now you go to the show, you see a DTG machine. What made you pick the DTG machine that you picked?
It just looked easy. Like, it was space saving. Like, I didn't need a lot of space. At this time, I was living in like a 1-bedroom apartment, and I had my heat press inside of the washroom, like in a little corner of the washroom. So it wasn't a lot of space at all. I was like, that printer's kind of small. Like, all I need is a pre-treat. I already got the heat press. This is way better. I don't have to, you know, figure out what a vector file. At this point, I didn't even know what a PNG was, or AI, or Photoshop. I didn't have no clue what anything what I was doing. So when I went out there to buy it, I was just like, all right, so you just spray it, you know, they wine and dine me type thing. But they made it seem so easy, like you just spray the solution on it and you heat press it, and then after that it prints, and you know, it's good. But they didn't tell you all the bad stuff and all the learning curves that was going to come with this.
So let's say today you started over, what would you do?
Today, if I started over, and my living situation was the same,
if it's just if you could get in the way you wanted to get in, not if you was in the same living situation, you probably do the same thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, because I was in a 1-bedroom apartment.
But right now, if you could start out the way you wanted to start out,
I would have outsourced everything to get more money, or use transfers. I just didn't have enough knowledge of the industry. I had zero knowledge. Like I'm telling you, I didn't even know what an AI file was. So like when I got my printer, they were like, hey, you need PNGs. I was like, what the hell's a PNG? I didn't even know what it was. Like I was trying to print screenshots and it wasn't coming out good. So like I had zero knowledge of anything of this industry. Like this wasn't my dream. This was just, you know, something I felt like I could do on the side to make a couple $100 extra a month. It wasn't anything that I dreamed to do. But to get back to your question, I would outsource everything and just make my cut off the top and stack my money.
Focus on sales. That's a dope way. I think right now, based on where I am and with things that I do, I'm like the same way. Like, man, I would much rather outsource it, just get the sales, make that money, and then not have to deal with half the headaches like we had last night. It was a bananas night. We're gonna get into that in another video. But one of the top questions when it comes to getting into DTG is the maintenance, man. How bad or what's your experience with the maintenance? I think you probably got, from what I've been and seen, is like one of the best kept shops that you ever could walk into. Seem to be a little OCD with your machines and stuff like that. But so how tedious and how hard is the maintenance?
It's not tedious nor hard. Like when you think you don't take a mathematical genius, or you don't have to know how to build a spaceship to know how to maintain something. You know, it's kind of like I hate to say this, but some people don't care about their equipment. You got to care about your equipment because it's what's making you money. So the longer you can maintain it and the cleaner that you keep it, the longer it's going to last. Like I go to help people with their printers and I train people and stuff. When I go to see their printer, they're like, and I can show you DMs where they're like, my printer's super clean, blah, blah, blah. Send me some pictures. I mean, my printers are coming up on 2 years old.
They look brand new.
And they look brand new. So these other people that don't maintain it, and then they're wondering why their prints ain't going right, or their prints are shoddy prints. Like everything around my shop is about maintenance. The longer we can maintain it, the longer it looks nice, the longer, you know, the work environment looks brand new. It feels good to work with brand new stuff. It's like driving a brand new car. It feels different from driving a hoopty. So that's kind of like my ideology of everything, is maintain it like it's brand new and keep it brand new.
Right. And it's crazy we talk about maintenance, and last night when we was trying to get the screen print job lined up, I'm just watching your wife from a distance, man. She was hammering through cleaning it, and I don't know how long it took her to learn, how much you taught her, or does she know how to print at all, or does she knows how to?
She knows how to print. She knows how to embroider. She could like screen print some tags on the manual, because that's a little easier. You know what I mean? But she knows, and that's just from watching me. She could pretty much handle it by herself. But you know,
I thought it was pretty dope to see, because I like to talk about family business, and you can involve your kids, your family. I know your daughter's too young at this point, but
she works.
Just watching your wife look, as we struggling over here, she just had everything cleaned up, looked like a whole brand new shop, literally in like 30 minutes, man. It was crazy. So, and I was just amazed at how she was taking apart the nozzles and running the fluids and stuff like that. So it really was like something that, I know you run it all the time, but just looking at it, like anybody possibly could do it if you really want to learn and you want to do it. All right, so as far as getting into DTG, what are some of the headaches that you face with the business, and do they outweigh do the good outweigh the bad?
I mean, it's kind of like this, like with everything in life, it's people judge and people give reviews off of their experience, not necessarily the product.
Right.
So to like break down an analogy, if me and you go to Disneyland, I'm dying in 100-degree weather. They're selling me $17 Slurpees, and the lines are long as hell, and I gotta carry 3 backpacks and a bag and push a stroller at the same time. I'm not gonna have as good of a time as you if they just let you in and you roam the whole park.
I got the express pass, baby.
You see what I'm saying? Like, you're getting free Slurpees, free food. It's,
skipping the line.
60-degree weather. There ain't no lines. You're gonna have a way better experience.
Right.
So, everything that I've learned so far is based off experiences with anything, whether it comes with DTG, screen print, embroidery. I'm a victim of that. Not a victim, but I'm a perpetrator of that as well, because right now I hate screen printing.
Yeah,
like,
man.
I think it's overrated. I think, personally, how you see these videos on YouTube about DTG versus screen print, what I've learned, and even when I was at home thinking how we're gonna get this job done, I was thinking like, when these people post these videos, it's because they're biased. It's not because they're giving you it might be their honest opinion, but it's based off of their experience.
Right.
It's not, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
no question.
like my experience, I went through hell with everything that I've learned because I'm self-taught. Nobody pulled up and showed me. They basically said, here's the equipment and good luck.
Facts,
You know what I
facts.
mean? So when it comes to embroidery, digitizing, lining stuff up, hooping, like all that's self-taught. But the headaches I'm going through right now with the auto and the manual, I've already been through this, with the vinyl cutter for the first month.
It's just like it's funny because as we was
It's a
doing
learning
what we
curve.
did last night, it was like, bro, all of my nightmares came back in one night, right? But like I said, that's gonna be another video. I think lastly, I want to ask you, what advice would you give somebody? I know a lot of people hit me up saying, am I getting a DTG? I just got the little craft DTG to start me out, but a lot of people want to know, like, what advice would you give somebody today if they, they're not worried about funds, they can finance it or they can afford it or whatever the case is. What advice would you give somebody starting to get into the DTG business from scratch?
So do they have a little bit of experience?
They got no experience, bro. They got no experience. Maybe they might have sold a shirt or two with something else. A little bit of knowledge, but they just watching videos to get their knowledge.
So I would say use Supercolor. Find some people to get your feet wet. Find some people that you can outsource some stuff to and get your money right. Like man, it's kind of working out for me right now, but it could go to hell. But I'm a gambler, so I'll gamble on myself all day. So if I could go back, I would just outsource everything just to get my feet wet, because if you end up not liking it, to spend 30 grand on equipment and then you got to resell the equipment to try to get some money back is, you take a hit. And I see people sell their DTGs all the time, and to know that they paid $25,000 for them and now they're selling them for 10, 15, 5,000. I've seen Omnis go for 3,000. And so instead of going down that route, at least get your feet wet some way, somehow, and even see if you like it. Because even though it looks like I enjoy this, sometimes I question what I'm doing. But I'm too deep now. You know what I mean? That's the honest to God truth. I'm too far in. I'm 250K in equipment and a lease. So I'm pretty much committed now. Like, I have no choice but to learn it. If I don't like it, I need to find some passion for it, because you're gonna go through them ups and downs where everything runs smooth and you love it, and you're gonna have nights like last night where I could have DTG'd these
I could have Supercolored it. We could have been done
at
least halfway done. And I know y'all was working on it for 2 days before and stuff like that. I think that's great advice, man, because getting this machinery that costs so much, you want to at least have the customer base ready to play and plug it in and go, man.
I didn't have nobody.
Right.
All I had was my boss.
Your boss, your former workers, and it's crazy, man. It's definitely a journey that you got to be willing to stick out and ride through, man. And you can go check out Sean on his channel, SC Shirts and Hoodies. I'll put it down in the description. You guys can follow me. Got some good tutorials. I'm pushing for him to put more tutorials in, but he's in a place right now. It's like, where do you go? You want to make the videos for the people, but at the same time, you got to get this work done, right? Like, you got to get the work done, and it's tedious work. And like I said, man, it just reminded me, like, I had to make a choice if I was going to keep educating people or I was going to keep working. And it comes to a point where it's really, really hard to do both. But I'm going to be working on trying to build up get an employee and do some of this different stuff, and hopefully I can build the business up that'll keep going when I'm not working. Because in all honesty, man, he got a business, but he owns his own job. You know what I'm saying? And nobody's gonna wake you up to go do it. No. Nobody's gonna be there to motivate you when you run into these problems.
That's a good thing that you bring that up, because I tell people all the time, be careful what you wish for, right?
I've just been saying that.
There's people out there right now that are saying,
oh, had all that equipment.
I wish I had that equipment. I wish I had, you know, $25,000 orders. I wish I could do this and this. Be careful what you wish for. And I'm going to tell you why, because I wished, like, you know, I believe in the law of attraction, so I knew this was coming. But with more equipment, the bigger you grow, the bigger the risk, the bigger the headache that comes with it. Because now you ain't, before when I started, if I got an order, it was like 10 shirts, cool. But now it's kind of like the pressure's on. Like, now it's a scalability issues. Now it's marketing issues. Now it's all these different issues that, you know, you don't foresee when you first start. It's easy to wake up and print 10 shirts when the printer's brand new and you're excited about it. You know what I mean? But it's going to be hard to wake up and print 10 shirts at 6 in the morning when, you know, you have 150, 200K in the bank. You know what I mean? It's like that's how you know whether or not you have passion for it, because it's easy to wake up when you're broke and go hustle. It's hard to wake up and hustle when you got a little bit of money stacked away. So
yeah, no question. I think for myself, I could definitely relate to that, man. I think yesterday, I mean, I got excited last night, man. I think I recorded a video and I got in at like 3 or 2:40 a.m., bro. I couldn't even go to sleep. I was like just so excited about getting my ass kicked. It just brought back the memories. But that would be a time where I would have took a nap for a half hour on the table in the shop, and then I would have got back to work. Like, I would have woke up in the shop and went right back to printing. But we're going to end this video, man. You guys can find Sean's information down in the description below. Make sure you check him out, man. He got great work. We putting up to a shop now. We about to get some more content out for you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you got a question, make sure you put it down in the comments below, and you might see it on the future video. This has been your boy Stan Banks from T-Shirt Side Hustle. Peace. Saying peace, dog.